Let me talk to you.
Yeah!
The sound went out there.
America's team, tell you, the United States of America is on its feet right now. It's 12:24. We're shooting a little later than we normally do. We've been doing pretty good. The Midnight Boys are back. America's on its feet, clapping off the cuff. Mike, Germ, talk a little week 6. Get us some week 7 picks, little power rankings, maybe a little draft. How you doing?
I'm going day by day, so today's a good day. Today's fine. We're not going to talk about yesterday yet. Hopefully you don't put that on me yet. We can just talk about today. We can talk about that crappy game we just watched, and yeah. Oh, before we do that, I had to help draft 160. Can't see it very well. Can't see it at all. Like 160 kids tonight in the Riverside Youth Basketball League. So that's all I did all night. 3 hours of drafting kids.
How do you do that? Like, what goes into that? Like, how do you know who goes where?
Well, the kids have to come and try out that haven't been on a team before. If they've been on a team before and that coach is still coaching, they just stick with them until they leave, like kindergarten all the way through, if they want.
Right.
So then you get all the new kids, or the kids that are going to teams that coach left or want to go on a new team, whatever. So all those kids come to the draft, and then we get all the coaches together. The kids do workout for about 30 minutes, and then I get the coaches all together, and then I set up the draft board, and we draft the kids. Not really a draft board. I hold a piece of paper and mark out names and write down who they want. But yeah, we put a little number on their chest. They go out there, do some layups, miss a bunch of shots, airball everything, and and then here we are. But yeah, it's good fun. I love it.
Do like coaches like? I feel like coaches like they pick like who exactly they want. Like, I want this kid. Do they get to do that? Like, I want that kid.
Yeah. I mean, they don't get to, like, the kids leave. Like, the kids aren't involved in the process. Like, they do their stuff and leave. But yeah, so the coaches are watching them as they're shooting and doing their layups or whatever, and they just write down, like, because we put numbers on their chest or on their back, and they just write down the numbers that they want, and then when the draft comes, like, the team with the first picks, like, I want 62. I want 73. And then I have to figure out whose name it is, write it on their team, do all this, and blah, blah, blah.
I remember playing. I played Little League up at Mountain State in Hansford. Obviously, like, you played like the Marmette Reds or whatever you played in that town with those kids. Like, when All-Stars rolled around, though, we had a draft.
Mm-hmm.
Coaches, like, drafted who they wanted on the All-Star team.
Yeah, All-Stars, me, and a couple other guys pick who the best players are, and that's who. And then we ask if they can do it. If a couple of them can't, then we get a couple more kids. But yeah, and I'm actually going to coach this year. I didn't coach last year because Kinsley was first year at middle school, and she had games and practices and all that, so didn't know how it was going to go. But I am back in the youth coaching realm this year. Drafted me some kids tonight. Ready to roll.
Ready to roll. Need to insert the Vince Vaughn Wedding Crashers. He's back.
He's back. I drafted. I got a couple good girls, and then I had a couple good girls already on my team because I got.
Did you draft Kinsley again?
I wish I could. So what happened? So Kinsley skills really took off after the youth league, so she never really got to dominate.
That's Groot.
Yeah, she never really had to dominate in the youth league. Like, her dribbling and ball handling skills, it wasn't really there until the summer after All-Star. She played on the All-Star team, and then the summer after is when, like, she really started getting her ball handling skills down. I mean, she can do things I never could do. Like, she can't shoot like her old man yet, but ball handling wise, I was never that good of a ball handler. I mean, I could blow by you, and I could make a sweet pass. You remember those?
too. And she needs to find her somebody to share some screens.
yeah.
If she does that and develops a shot, she'll go all the way.
Right. But yeah, I have 6 kids on my team so far. We're expecting some more kids to sign up. 3 girls. I'm the one that I wanted girls because I'm used to coaching girls now, so I like having the girls. Anyways.
Little Gino Auriemma vibe there. I dig it.
Yep.
Speaking of All-Stars and Mountain State All-Star, 4-time All-Star.
4 time.
Right. 4 times. Right here. They even put me on the All-Star teams when I broke my arm one year. That tells you what kind of cannon you're looking at here.
Mm-hmm. No,
all right.
I think I did. So whenever I was drafting,
fast forward.
I know it's hard to like remember how, because they don't really do much. So I write down the name and number, and then I'll put check marks. And the amount of check marks, because that's I didn't even mean to do it, but the amount of check marks was how much I wanted the kid. and I had a couple kids in the no section. No matter.
I say, did any kid have like no checks?
Yeah. No, well, there was just no. Two kids. I just we're not gonna mess with that this year.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah. Anyways, that was I had one kid that had like 6 check marks, and he went like second. Unfortunately. Anyways, we're back. Football. Chargers. Cowboys.
Monday Night Football.
My
biggest takeaway from this game, and I'm kind of serious about this, I thought Dak played well, but my biggest takeaway from this game will probably forever be right before halftime. Cowboys have a couple timeouts going down the field, and the picture of McCarthy talking to the ref saying, "Why'd you stop the clock?" And instead of him calling timeout and taking a shot to the end zone, he lets the clock run out and kick a field goal.
Yeah.
Which then this whole experience tonight led me into asking Tim. I don't know if you saw it. Asking Tim, who does he like more, Jason Garrett or McCarthy?
Shoo, that's a tough question.
Actually, it's a tough question. Yeah,
I'd have to go back and look at the results, but I feel like Garrett had better success, right? Didn't he?
Garrett had some good seasons.
He had a couple playoff teams in there, a couple playoff runs.
Yeah, he had a couple good seasons.
I mean, he got screwed on the catch, of course.
Yeah, for his best team.
Yeah.
Of course, he's known for his 8-8 teams, but yeah, he had a couple good teams. Offense, like you see now, pretty stagnant. I don't know why the Cowboys signed Brandon Cooks if they're just going to have him run 10,000. I know, but if they're not going to have him, they're just going to have him run like 10,000 hitches and slants.
Yeah,
and they're not going to have him stretch the field. Yeah, they're not going to have him stretch the field, stretch it going across the field. I don't know.
This had to have been the game of just the shit fest of coaches. I don't know how better way to phrase it. It's just like both fan bases have to hate their head coach.
Well, I mean, it's the Cowboys versus the AFC Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're mirror images of each other. Neither team can run the football.
I mean, I wouldn't even give Chargers that much credit.
Yeah. Well, I guess expectations wise. Yeah. Everything they do, man, just seems like it's hard. Like the Chargers.
Yeah.
Like they got the quarterback with the rocket arm, and everything just looks hard. I'm going to tell you what I would do. Tomorrow morning. Well, actually this morning now. I am firing Brandon Staley. You know the first phone call I'm making.
Who you calling?
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson, old BJ.
I'm calling Ben Johnson to give Herbert an offensive-minded head coach to run a creative system, and let's go.
Kellen Moore sucks, too. Like, I just never been a fan.
No.
Never been a fan. I mean, look at this. Yeah. The Cowboys, Herbert was terrible tonight. They couldn't run the ball, but the Cowboys' defense is still sweet. I mean, they got killed last week, but that was a one-off. Like, their defense is so much. That'll never happen again. Like, their defense is so much better.
It's the worst matchup possible for them last week.
Yeah, and even then, it was just a buzzsaw. Like, that won't. If they play again, it won't happen again. Like, not like that.
No.
Yeah, very disappointed in Eckler tonight that he couldn't muster out about 6 or 7 more points. Would have been nice in a fantasy league. Would have been real nice. He was wide open in the flat over there. I mean, he could have set up a tent over there by the time Herbert went through his progressions and saw him just wide open. I even audibly said, "He's wide open. Throw him the ball." Like I had time to say that before Herbert finally saw him.
Here's what's funny about Eckler, and you'll find this out having him now on your fantasy team since I traded him to you. There are moments, like especially like the first game of the year, like now first game that he's back, where Herbert won't really look at him. And as time goes on, he'll check down more and more and more. But in a Kellen Moore offense, the check down wasn't really a big thing. It's not like they threw to the running back a ton.
I don't know.
So I don't know what's going to I don't know what's going to happen there. But Cowboys get the win, go to 4-2 going into the bye. You know, that's the biggest thing coming out of this. Just get the W going into the bye.
Yeah, couldn't lose back-to-back primetime games going into your bye. That'd be a long 2 weeks.
It was fun. I thought, say it again, I thought Dak looked pretty good tonight. Looked pretty snappy throwing the ball. You asked me last week, who would I rather have, Dak or Kirk Cousins?
He will now forever be Dirk Prescott.
Dirk Prescott.
Old Dirk Prescott.
And I answered with you 2016 Dak. Because what did 2016 Dak do?
He moved.
He didn't just 3-step, 5-step drop in the pocket and throw the football. He got out of the pocket, threw on the run, which he's really good at throwing on the run. And he used his legs in the red zone. And that's what you saw tonight. That's him at his best.
Does Quentin Johnston just suck? How's that dude not getting more play and any action?
I thought he was going to be really good. Still might. I don't know. Like, he's big dude. He's fast. But, again, the Chargers still relying on Keenan Allen to separate. Their only separation receiver.
Yep.
At 31 years old.
Yep.
So, but Cowboys get the win on Monday night. America is happy and smiling at this moment in time because America's team. Never forget it. Ben Johnson. All right. Next. Well, tell you what, we won't talk about the Niners right now. We'll start with, even though last week you started Niners Cowboys.
It was Sunday Night Football.
I'm not going to do that. Let's go back to Thursday, which feels like forever ago. Chiefs Broncos.
Thursday. Oh, wait, every time we do this, I'm like, what? Thursday didn't even happen. And this game, I wish didn't happen. I wish every Broncos game didn't happen.
Here's a question for you: are the Chiefs just boring now?
Yeah, they really are. Like
boring.
They've got shitty weapons and an old Travis Kelce. He had a good game, but he's too busy with old Tay. Yeah, I mean what's worrisome, and I said this the very first game of the year. Their defense is really good now.
Yeah.
The offense doesn't really have to do much anymore.
Yeah, they figured it out on defense.
And that's the scariest part, is that their offense is clearly not even close to running on all cylinders, and they're still 5-1 and winning, covering every week.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last week. I don't think this offense can get really much better.
It's not, unless they make a trade. This
This
is what they are.
Their weapons are their weapons. Their offensive line it's okay.
In fact, they could only get worse because Kelce could get hurt.
Yeah,
the offense can only get worse.
We're gonna bang this drum again. I still think it's crazy they don't use Rashee Rice anymore. He just seems like the most explosive wide receiver they have.
Yeah, seems like their best guy.
He seems like he can get open, and he's good after the catch. Sky Moore, man, seems like a bust.
Yeah,
Complete bust.
He's terrible.
He's
terrible. For sure.
That's what goes to show you. Look at all these guys that go into that system, and just because they go into the system, people think they're going to be awesome, like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Sky Moore.
I mean, even Pacheco, he's been fine, but he hasn't been great.
His running style holds him back. I don't know what he's doing. Like he's pissed off at the ground every time he runs.
Yeah, it's true. Like you could hear his footsteps.
Chiefs get the win on Thursday night. Let's go to Sunday. Let's go overseas. Let's go to London.
All the way to London.
Ravens Titans.
Another exciting showdown.
I didn't watch a second of this game.
I didn't either. I did not either.
My understanding is Lamar looked pretty good. Tannehill did get knocked out. Malik Willis looked pretty terrible. Which asks the question: how bad is Will Levis? If Malik's getting in before him,
Yeah. I mean, like if you look, Malik Willis was 4 for 5 for 74 yards. That's great, but in 9 dropbacks, he got sacked 4 times.
yeah, it's just
Running
I saw a
around.
couple highlights. Didn't look great.
I guess.
But
Dropbacks.
Ravens get the win. Commanders at Falcons. Commanders get the win. You seen that Tyra Banks gif where she's like, "We all were rooting for you," like screaming at somebody? Have you seen that gif?
Mm-hmm.
This is me, like at the Falcons. Like, pick the Falcons. I picked the Falcons, man. I like the defense. Ritter had the best game of his career, and then, man, just terrible decision making.
Okay, I saw very little of this game. I saw Brett very upset in our chat about this game. And I did see the terrible interception at the end of the game. Terrible interception.
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
Are we drafting tomorrow in the hoops thing?
Oh, yeah, about that. Probably not at noon. We're gonna have to wait for Matt's kids to get out of school. So I guess we'll start at around 5.
I just saw Eric tagging you in the hoops chat.
I will go ahead and reply. They're gonna get a live look into the league here. We will push this back until Matt's children get out of school.
This is off the cuff.
Off the cuff. That's
Literally
a live look. Over in the Discord. Okay. So yeah.
Okay.
What I want to know.
Yeah.
Why is Desmond Ridder throwing the ball 47 times? He dropped back 50 times.
Yeah.
50 times.
I don't know. Dude, I have a question. I mean, I think we both like him, but
Ridder?
you have to ask the question. No.
Okay, as I say, I've been adamant that I've not liked this man all summer.
Arthur Smith.
I do like Arthur Smith, but yeah, I just it's the third time I've questioned that right there.
Yeah. Just looked very disorganized toward the end of the game.
I mean, Bijan, he's got 18 touches, so I mean, he's getting the ball, and London's finally getting the ball. Pitt's got a touchdown. Like, they're doing some things, but I mean, when your quarterback throws the ball 50 times, of course it's got to go to somebody.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're a roller coaster. Every other game. So next game, they'll be back in everybody's good graces. It's a freaking roller coaster with that team.
Who they got next? They're at Tampa.
There's the roller coasters going back up.
Just they're really aggravating. They really are. I mean,
I can't imagine being a fan of this team.
That's what I was going to say. Being a fan of this Falcons team, holy shit!
I
pull my hair out, man.
Because the defense been pretty good.
I like the defense, man. They, like I said, they fly around.
Yeah, sorry.
You got Ridder thrown it 50 times, and just I don't know, man.
The thing with them and a lot of these teams, which we're gonna here in a little bit, we're gonna do something, but they're just a team that they're nowhere near contending, nowhere near like being an actual title contender, and they're also nowhere near like sucking. Like they're just stuck in the middle right now.
Competitively average.
Yeah.
Where's that way?
I guess. Just yeah. The Commanders also same thing, but they're even further from the top. Even though they got the win, like they're just nothing like that.
You know what they need to do? Fire Rivera and hire Ben Johnson.
I was gonna say it, but I'll let you do it. Yeah, Ben Johnson probably look better on both those clubs than their current coaches.
Absolutely. Speaking of Ben Johnson and needed another place, Chicago. Vikings get the win 19-13. Fields knocked out at the start of the third quarter he's got a busted thumb. He's going to be out for a little bit, which for my fantasy team's not great. Shepherd University, West Virginia boy, Tyson Bagent comes in off the bench.
It does not look great.
No, a little shaky.
But hey, you're Martinsburg, West Virginia. You got that championship pedigree in you. He'll figure it out.
Here's a question about Tyson Bagent. This isn't even about the Bears. This is like Neil Brown stuff. How much do you suck as an offensive coach like Neil Brown if Bagent won't come to WU and stays at Shepherd?
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want to come to my home school, state school, to play in your offense. I'm going to stay at Shepherd.
It's crazy he's in the NFL.
It's pretty wild.
From Shepherd.
Dude, for a shit
A
ton of
quarterback, not like a receiver. Like they had the UC receiver. I think he's still making his way around the league as like a practice squad guy. Like,
yeah.
But a quarterback, a Shepherd. Crazy.
Yeah. But Vikings get the win. This, man, it's an ugly game. I don't even know how. Well,
all these games are ugly.
Really
Every game this week was ugly. It sucked.
It was a bad day of football. I think I said it last night. Somebody said it was like a Sunday of college football, where it just didn't look great. And you saw teams get beat. A lot of streaks were actually broken yesterday, which we can mention at some point.
I need to.
Well, we got your team coming up that lost a streak here soon, and had the Ritter home streak that was broken.
Stroud's interception streak.
Stroud's interception. Niners 30-point games.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Vikings, Bears, both teams are god awful, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Two bad teams right there.
Two bad teams. Bears are on track for what they want. The first two picks in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Seahawks at Bengals. Bengals get the win 17-13. I thought we'd get a little more fireworks. It's an ugly game. I thought we'd get more fireworks.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's another ugly one.
Seemed like the Seahawks, man, cannot protect Geno at all.
Well, they've had a bad offensive line for as long as Pete Carroll's been there.
Yeah, I thought that like Burrow threw for 185.
Yep, Geno threw his typical couple picks.
Yep. Yeah, Geno's good for 300 yards and a couple picks.
Yep, that's like Geno. That is Geno in a nutshell. How did I get in this nutshell? Yeah, just bad football. Okay. But Bengals, that's a big win for them, regardless.
They're just pulling out wins right now.
Yep.
Which is big.
They're back in the race now.
Okay.
Back in the thick of it.
Niners at Browns.
Oh, shit.
Browns win 19-17. It was cooler. It was rainy.
It was what you would expect in Cleveland. I'm pretty sure the conditions in Cleveland that day were that's your conditions 99% of the time in Cleveland.
Have we ever watched a Cleveland game where it's like sunny? Like blue skies.
They are the sunny. Seattle of the Midwest, I say.
They really are, man. It's just cloudy all the time. But let you go. I'll let you have the floor with the Niners.
I don't even. Well, they needed to get a nice kick in the teeth after dominating for 5 weeks and everything going well. Needed something to happen and go bad, and it did. Browns defense is as advertised, although the elements did also help. And of Deebo going out early did help, and McCaffrey not playing in the second half basically did not. Still. And the game, the worst part is it came down to freaking kicker that you draft in the third round. Missing a game-winning field goal. But it's going to freaking happen. I think last year, Robbie Gould missed the kick, I think against the Raiders, and then they ended up coming back and won the game anyway. But Robbie Gould's missed those kicks too. Very few times, but it has happened. What sucks is Moody's family was there. His whole family had a pregame picture with the whole damn gang. That's terrible. That's bad. Brock Purdy looked awful for most of the game. He had Christian McCaffrey wide open on a wheel route that would have put them up or would have extended their lead. Would have been like a 60-yard touchdown. All I had to do is hit him in stride. Missed him by a mile because he was panicking over the pass rush. However, When push came to shove, end of the game, needed a drive against, and they hadn't moved the ball. They had 11 yards, I think, before that final drive to try to go down and win the game. And he did put together a drive to get him down there. Just missed the field goal.
Yeah, that was watched the whole game. That was obviously his worst day.
Yeah,
But he's had it before.
Third quarter was 3-0.
He missed. I don't know. I feel like it was on repeat. How many times he missed Ayuk?
Yeah, he kept barely missing. Like it was just like off the fingertips, or it was this way, and then he threw the one behind him when he got the one that got picked.
Yeah,
But hey, you can't be perfect every freaking game.
No, but I mean, like I said, kudos on the Browns, man. That defense is legit. PJ Walker, even we talk about bad coaching and stuff like that. Stefanski putting it in PJ Walker's hands so many times is blowing my mind.
Stupid. Like he literally threw the Niners an interception in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
he dropped it. Also,
just run the ball.
I'm not going to blame anything. The Niners missed play after play after play after play, but the penalty. 3rd and 10. Tayshaun Gibson. Shoulder. Clearly in the guy's chest. Doesn't even hit his head. Doesn't hit his face mask. Doesn't hit his helmet. Doesn't hit anything. 15-yard penalty. Then the very next play was defensive holding. That was also terrible. Like it would have been 4th and 10, and I'm sure the Browns would have punted with like 3 minutes left because they would have had 4 o'clock stoppages in their pocket. So they would have punted on 4th and 10. All the Niners had to do is get 1 first down, maybe 2 first downs. Game's over. Not blaming that, but it definitely sucked.
Yeah, it was a tough watch.
Referees are terrible the whole game, though. But that's what happens in Cleveland in the shitty weather. Seattle to the east, Midwest, whatever the hell Ohio is.
Like that was, I think that was the story all weekend, man. The refs are terrible.
The refs are terrible, and this football is terrible. These games are terrible.
It's bad.
There hasn't. What's the best game we've watched this year? The best game. I feel like all these games are the same. Just bad football, bad coaching, bad clock management, bad decisions by the referees to throw a flag or not throw a flag in clutch situations. It's every game.
It's a great question. What is the best game so far this year?
I mean, I can't really think of it right now because I'm so in the moment. Like I can't even go back 2 weeks.
Well, like Bills Dolphins supposed to be big. That was a blowout. I don't even know like what was a big game.
Bills Jets and Aaron Rodgers died 4 plays in.
That was probably. I mean, yeah.
And it was bad football the whole game, and then the Jets pulled it out. This game we just watched, bad football. Game last night, bad football.
Oh, that's awful.
Thursday night, bad football.
We'll get into some ball taps on that later on. Believe you me. Okay.
And one more thing.
Moving on from the
One more thing.
Yeah.
There was a.
You talk as much as you want.
There was a comment in our Discord about John Lynch and how he's been given so much rope.
I already know
because he has a genius head coach that bails him out. Okay, here's my rebuttal. And Cal Shanahan, I will say and stand by, I think he's the best head coach in the league. I would not trade him for any head coach in the league, not even Andy Reid, nobody. Maybe Ben Johnson. But nobody else. I wouldn't trade him for anybody. However, you look at these Niners teams over the last, since 2019, so 4 years. They've gone to Super Bowl, bad 2020, stupid season, everybody got hurt. NFC Championship. What was the best part of those teams? The defense. Okay, it wasn't the offense. Kyle Shanahan's an offensive genius. However, it's the defense. And those guys were all drafted by John Lynch. The whole defense. All the stars drafted by John Lynch and Cal Shanahan. Cal Shanahan plays a part too, but it's mainly John Lynch. He's drafted stud after stud. Warner, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, Bosa, Hufanga, Greenlaw, Lenore, Brock Purdy. Oh, he also traded for the best offensive lineman in football, Trent Williams. Nobody talks about that. They just talk about the Trey Lance trade. He also traded for the best weapon in football, Christian McCaffrey. He also traded for Emmanuel Sanders 4 years ago, and that was the main reason I think they made it all the way to Super Bowl, because he was such a huge addition.
I just want to mention, I don't know if you forgot, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, he drafted a kicker with basically a 4th round pick, with a compensatory pick, because his head coach continues to produce great coaches, minority coaches to go to other teams. Use that pick on a kicker who is probably the best kicking prospect of the last decade. And the man was 9 for 9 and like 25 for 25 on extra points coming into this game before playing in the stupid rainy Cleveland. So can we shut up about John Lynch, who has put together the best roster in the fucking league? Thank you.
I bet you feel better after that.
A little bit.
Yeah, when you was talking about that, I've always been a defense guy. When's the last time the Niners had a bad defense?
They haven't.
That defense, man,
Look,
I feel like it's been full of studs that can
Kyle
run.
Shanahan is a great offensive mind, the best offensive mind, I believe. And his goal, his very first year, they drafted 2 defensive players in the first round. They didn't draft Patrick Mahomes and all these guys. They drafted defensive players. They always look to draft defensive players first because he doesn't want to worry about that side of the ball. He just wants to focus on offense. When the defense is doing great, he's looking at his play sheet for what he's going to run the next set of down. He doesn't want to think about defense. So John Lynch drafts all the defense. Shanahan hires great defensive coaches to man it over there, and that's it. Offense. And this is the first year that Shanahan's offense is actually like great. He's always had a good running game.
Yeah.
But it's the first time he's had like a good passing game, no other than this game, but yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Okay.
32 minutes. 28 to go.
Yep. Panthers and Dolphins. Won't spend too much time on this. Dolphins came out a little half asleep. Panthers were up 14-0. And the Dolphins woke up and just put it on them, 42-21.
Yep, nothing to talk about here. Panthers are the worst team in football. If you don't win a game, we don't talk about you.
No, head coach, not great. He's already turned over the play calling to the OC.
That's another thing. Okay, I will say. That's the only thing I'm going to talk about. He was the first head coach fired last year, and he's the first head coach hired this year.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
One, why would he want to come back that quick? And 2, why would anybody want him?
Seems like a nice guy.
He's a super nice guy. I like him.
Watching the Hard Knocks with the Colts. Seems like a real good guy.
Yeah. Good fella.
Like football coach.
Good fella.
Yeah.
It's like Neil Brown.
A nice guy can take you a long way. All right. Colts and Jags. Jags get to win 37-20. Finally, I think they're finally starting to figure it out a little bit. They're using ETN a little bit more. Finally, I don't know why they weren't using it a little bit more. Our boy Gardner Minshew comes at those for 329. It's what he does. Just let him air it out.
3 interceptions.
3 interceptions. Just let him get out there and sling it around the yard. We'll see what happens. But Jags seem like they're pretty dominant.
Jags D.
They should win.
Jags run D, forcing Minshew to beat him.
That's pretty good, man. 2 weeks over in London, you come right back and you're dominant against a division foe. That's pretty good.
They put up a couple big wins here in a row, and they're back. They're in good shape now. Jags are in good shape.
Yeah. Saints at our Houston Texans. Texans get the win 20-13. Stroud finally threw an interception. And
it's good for him. It's good to throw one every now and then.
Good for him. It's growth, man. But he's good. I just can't believe how good he is.
Yeah, pretty good.
Throwing in tight windows on the goal line, things like that, man. Just
look at this box score. I feel like if we went just from going through game by game here.
Yeah.
I feel like every single team that threw the ball more than 30 times lost.
Yeah.
Like, you can't run the football anymore. You're gonna lose. Like,
There's a
Derek Carr
team we're
throws
gonna
50
get to.
times, 50 times, and you score 13 points.
Yeah.
50.
I mean, look at these quarterbacks that threw for over 300 yards and they all lost.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. Weird.
Except for Jared Goff because of Ben Johnson. But
Of course. I guess.
But Texans get the win. Big fans of D'Amico Ryans and Houston Texans on this show.
Fraud Saints. Juggernaut Texans.
Word.
Those juggernaut
Patriots at Raiders. Mac made a couple throws that he should have got benched on, and it didn't happen. It's so bad that they brought Malik Cunningham off the practice squad and immediately signed him to a 3-year contract. And he's the backup quarterback. I can't believe how bad they are.
Yeah, they're really bad. Mac did throw an absolute beautiful deep ball.
Yeah.
DeAndre
Vontae
Parker
dropped it.
or Devontae Parker was just like, I'm 30 and I suck. I'm not going to get
Do you see what he said after the game? Said it just barely touched his fingertips.
It was.
When you see the video, it's hitting him right in the hands.
I'm almost hitting the fucking wrist, bro.
That was a great throw.
Uh,
But that game was ugly. Devontae Adams is the most expensive decoy of all time.
Well, that's what happens when you have Jimmy Garoppolo as your quarterback.
Well, I mean, he got
It's
sent to the
amazing.
hospital.
Yeah, he did, but still, that's basically what happens.
Unbelievable. There's a
Jimmy
game earlier in
Garoppolo
the
not
year-
throwing to the number one receiver and Jimmy Garoppolo going to the hospital are two least surprising things that I have seen today.
There was a game earlier this season where he targeted Adams 20 times.
Yeah.
And now he won't even look at him.
So we talked about old dude, Mr. Comeback Player of the Year, being on the back of the ambulance.
Yeah, that's tough.
I feel like Jimmy deserves to be on an ambulance somewhere. At least on like a hospital bed or something.
What do you think he feels about
Gurney.
that?
DeMar
Like,
Hamlin?
would you be upset about that? Yeah.
Yeah, if your damn skull is retired
Like
on the
your-
back of an
Your
ambulance, I would not
jersey
want
got
that.
retired on an ambulance.
I don't want that. Not
It
great.
just feels like it's a bad sign.
It's your comeback player of the year.
It really is. I mean, that's yeah.
Man wearing a hoodie every day on a bench.
All
Oh.
right. Cardinals at Rams. Rams get the win 26-9. This was another game we just talked about with the quarterbacks throwing it a ton for 300 yards. This was heading that way in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kyron Williams had like 4 carries for 8 yards in the first half. And then for whatever reason, McVay came out in the second half and said, I'm going to run the football. And Kyron Williams ended up with 158 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you still see Arizona threw the ball 41 times and scored 9 points.
Yeah.
And they were actually running the ball good.
Yeah. I just don't understand. You got to have some balance, with what you're doing. And they had a ton of success running the football. Like I said, to get 158 yards after you had like 5 yards at halftime. The Puka Nacua thing is pretty much over after Cup came back.
Yeah, because as everybody knows, Stafford is a one-man man, and he will only throw to one man.
Lord,
And his one man is back.
it's unbelievable.
He will never spread that thing around.
It's unbelievable. But Rams get the win. I think that Cardinals thing is pretty much done.
Yeah, they got one win. Who's that against?
But when you play America's team, everybody gets hyped up. You got to prepare for those things. They weren't prepared. All right. The shock of the day: Eagles and Jets. Jets get the win 20-14.
Check on those Eagles pass attempts before we go any further.
That's another example. I know. I mean,
Oh, it's beautiful.
it's another example why. I mean, they had some trouble running.
Run the football, people.
That's not their thing. Is for Hurts to drop back that many times to throw the football.
No, it's not. I mean, this Jets
Not
defense is
that.
amazing. They're one of the best 3 or 4 defense in the league. But still, you can't change your game plan because of what they're doing. You got to freaking keep running the ball. Eventually, something will happen. Can't throw the ball 45 times.
The Eagles piss me off so bad. I'm just so sick of seeing them eke out wins.
Yeah, for them to finally.
Average teams.
Yeah, it was beautiful to see it finally.
Yeah.
Something bad happened.
And I don't want to sound like a hater because I think he's a good quarterback, especially for that system. But that was so much Jalen Hurts in college.
Yep.
Just staring down the first read. And if it's not there, he's holding it. He's taking off running. It was just.
I think losing Steichen's a big deal.
Oh, yeah. Zach Wilson didn't have a lot of stats. He didn't turn it over. That's bad. You talk about him like, hey, it's a great job. Didn't turn it over. I mean, he didn't blow it completely.
With that defense, that's all you got to do.
He made some throws. Yeah.
Just let the defense keep you in it. Play the field position. Don't force anything. And eventually you have a run game, which the Eagles shut down the run. But
yeah.
This made the Niners loss so much. I was able to breathe after this one happened. I was like, okay, it didn't hurt. Seahawks lost too. It didn't hurt. So,
yeah. That's one thing I felt tonight is Eagles lost, Cowboys won. I was like, here we go. All right. Lions at Bucks. Bucks get the win 20-6. Goff threw for 353. That Ben Johnson offense looked he understands that system. He's really good in the system.
Yep.
He spreads it around a little bit. The Sun God is his boy throwing the ball, man, but he spreads it around really well. And
the old Sun God.
They suffocated. They suffocated the Bucks offense. Tell you what, too, man. This season, especially, and people are figuring out, the Lions fans might travel really well.
Yeah, they do. When they're good, they come out support. I mean, they always come out and support. They got a good fan base, but traveling on the road like this, yeah. Now that they're an actual legit contender, fun to see.
Well, and they got such a good shade of blue too. It's that Honolulu blue.
It is a beautiful shade of blue.
Yeah, when they play like Lambeau or like in Tampa, when it's like green and red, it just pops.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I will go ahead and say, Jared Goff's playing good football. I'm going to give the man his due. That he sucked 3 years ago. 4 years ago, he also sucked. And 5 years ago, I think he sucked. But last year, he started to put it together. And this year, last year and this year, he looks really good. He looks like a top 10, 12 quarterback in the league.
He has been fortunate to play in a McVay system and a Ben Johnson system.
I mean, two offensive geniuses like that.
Absolutely. Now, I think that his confidence was absolutely just crushed.
I think that's a lot of it because he looked
after
terrible.
that past Super Bowl.
Yeah, he looked terrible after that.
And the commentary after the game was, we wanted him to throw the ball.
Well, and then they lost the run game after that. Todd Gurley went down right out or during that. When he didn't have a run game anymore, he looked terrible. And yeah, he was shook. He was seeing ghosts like Sam Darnold. And, but yeah, Detroit has cleaned him up. And he listening to his post game speeches and everything. Like he's a different dude now than he was 3. I mean, I was standing by. He was fucking awful 4 years ago, but now,
well, even the first year in Detroit, because I always tell you this, like when he threw it out of bounds on purpose on 4th down twice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
like
and I think that was just him. He was still feeling all the pressure and everything from before, but
hard to get over.
Yeah, I mean, he still makes some stupid stuff sometimes. The last few weeks he hasn't, but I mean, you go back 3 or 4 weeks ago, he was doing some weird stuff. But right now, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Not much you can say about him. So,
one of the better quarterbacks in the league, leading one of the better teams in the league.
Yep, credit to him. He is probably top 4 in MVP, top 4 or 5.
I think he hasn't been in the conversation. He's probably. I take that back. I don't know if he is in the conversation. You think he is? I think people are kind of sleeping on him a little bit.
How many people are in the conversation? Like, who would be the MVP right now?
Holmes, Tua. He's not beating those guys.
Tua sucked 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but he's still
Today he did
second
great
inning off.
against the 0-6 Panthers.
Yeah. I don't say this about Goff. He's probably not getting the credit he deserves for how they're going so far. But he's played really well.
Well, I mean, look at their run game. They lost Montgomery, who averages about 2.5 yards a carry. They haven't had their secret weapon, last few weeks.
Well, I have a question, by the way.
Huh?
The Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep.
They drafted him 12th.
Yep.
Do you think it's weird? I love MCDC. Do you agree with did you see what he said in the press conference?
Yeah, about Montgomery being the bell cow and
Yeah.
yeah. I like Gibbs as a player, and I don't mind the pick. But if that was the plan, you don't spend that draft capital on a change of pace player.
No.
You go draft a Pro Bowl corner, or you go draft a Pro Bowl edge rusher, or a defensive tackle, or a right guard, or right tackle, or something. You don't spend it on a third down running back.
No. Spend it on a difference maker, not that.
It would have been. I mean, everybody questioned that pick. I didn't mind it, but everybody questioned the pick because it was a running back in general. But now it's a running back. He's hurt right now, but he's a running back that gets 40% of the looks.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll change. But
yeah,
if that was your plan, that's bad draft capital right there. And then the trade up 2 years ago. I mean, James Williams had a touchdown here, but he's been, unless he gets going, that pick don't look good.
Yeah, he's had a lot of ups and downs on the field, off the field. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep it positive.
To wrap it up for Sunday, Giants at Bills. I'm going to get into this one a little more later in my ball taps. Bills get the win 14.
Another
Sunday
crappy
night.
game.
Ugly football, man.
This was probably the worst game of the year. This was the worst tight game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how to describe it. Tyrod out there hanging on. Josh Allen just force feeding Diggs. Hardly looking at anybody else. Giants defense played well. I just don't know if it was them or Josh Allen not really playing as well. I don't know. Nothing really stood out in that game. It was just so ugly. The biggest thing is probably the coaching that I'll talk about a little bit later. Yeah.
Yeah, Diggs had 16 targets, and the next highest wide receiver, Gabe Davis, had 4.
Yeah. Yep.
Gabe Davis isn't a great receiver, but he's a solid second receiver. I mean, 4.
He takes the top off.
Yeah, 4 out of 16. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But Diggs will get mad at you if you don't throw it to him, so you got to get it to him.
That's the thing. Is he force feeding because he throws a fit every other week?
And here I'll say this about the Bills now. They're similar to the Chiefs. Offense is not nearly as good, but suddenly the defense saving their ass.
Yeah.
So that's a
yeah.
You go back to that AFC Championship game 2 years ago, 3 years, whatever it was, and the shootout. If these two teams play in the playoffs this year, over-under's gonna be could be 48.5. Crazy.
It's ugly, man. All right. That is the Week 6 recap.
48 minutes. Oh, God. 1 hour.
1 hour.
Okay.
No problem. All right. Power rankings.
Okay, here we go. Boom. Get it up here. Oops, I got Week 7 picks on there instead. Don't want that. We want this. Boom.
Here's what we're going to do. We have 5-1 teams going into Week 7.
Yep.
So first thing we're going to do is power rank those 5 teams.
Okay, so go ahead and give me yours.
I'm still taking the 49ers first.
Okay.
Dolphins second.
Okay.
The Ben Johnson-led Detroit Lions third.
Okay.
But the Eagles fourth. I'm putting the Chiefs fifth.
All right, so we have the same exact order almost. First 3 are the same. I've got 49ers still, Dolphins, Lions, and I've got the Chiefs ahead of the Eagles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the Dolphins' scary thing is their defense.
Yeah.
And the Lions, I know they won week 1 in Kansas City, but it's week 1, like week 1, and
Plus,
there was some.
There was an asterisk on it.
There was a little bit of an asterisk.
There's a little bit of an asterisk.
So but they really don't play any. Their schedule is so easy. This team, they could really be the 1 seed. I would not be shocked if the Lions finish like 13-4 or 14-3 and got the 1 seed, just because of their schedule.
Yeah.
But if they win in Baltimore this week,
yeah,
it's legit. I mean, we both got them number 3s. They're legit. Anyways, best of the rest.
All right, now we did our top 5-1 teams. Now let's have a little draft on the best of the rest. We have a bunch of 3-2, 3-3 teams. A lot of just muck in the middle. So
a lot of muck.
We're each going to take 5 teams each. You want to go first?
Sure. I will take the team I just talked about. It's been ugly lately. It's a little bit of a roller coaster. Don't feel nearly as great about it. But when you take out those top 5 teams, still think they're the best team left. I've got the Buffalo Bills and their defense at my number 1 pick.
Okay. That's a good pick. For my pick, I am taking a team that I think is starting to figure it out a little bit on both sides of the ball. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, the Jaguars. Right. I have the Jags at number 5 in my best of the rest over here. Give me.
That's because you're going there soon. Your expectations, you're setting the level.
That's right. I'm going with another team that they're moving up. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals, making their way up. Burrow's looking better. Chase looks great. They're getting it going. 3-3, back in the hunt.
I'm going to take. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm just hell with this. It's 1:15 in the morning. America's on its feet. I'm taking the Dallas Cowboys. Because after a win like that, how do you not take them?
I almost took them there, but I was like, I better save that.
Save that guy for later.
All right, I will take. Change my mind on the fly here. I'm taking the Cleveland Browns and what could be the best defense in the league.
That's what I was going to take next.
If Deshaun ever figures out the offensive side, and I know they lost Chubb, but with that defense, if they win the division and get a home game in the playoffs, look out.
Yeah. Speaking of a team in that same division that's pretty good at home, the good defense, I think kind of an overlooked defense or underlooked defense. I'm sorry. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
That's who I was going to take. That's who I had higher on my ranking, and I changed my mind on the fly. I had them 4 and had the Browns 6, and I changed my mind. I'm taking the real America's team, the best team in Texas, D'Amico Ryans and the Houston Texans. At number 4, C.J. Stroud. He's got the defense humming. He's got the offense.
I still remember watching their first game against the Cowboys, against Quincy Carter.
I remember that game too.
Losing that game.
Oh, I remember that game too.
Those sons of bitches. All right. I am taking a team that they lost on Sunday, man, but they're like, I think we've called them the Michael Myers team. They just keep coming. They got some talent. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, that's the team. I told you when we started, we don't tell each other our picks or anything, but I told him that I had a team 3rd, and by the time I was done organizing my list, I had them all the way done at 8. Like, I felt great about it, and then I was like, nah, I like these other teams more.
Yeah.
All right. They are definitely the Michael Myers. I got 3 teams sitting here that I don't mind. I'm not touching the freaking Chargers. They can go straight to hell.
I didn't even have them on the list.
Nope. Give me the Jets. Go with another defensive team. Got the Browns and the Jets both pulled off big upsets with great defenses. So let's ride them out.
Jets are 1 or 2 teams I had left. So I will take the only team I have left. Give me the Rams. They're feisty, they're competitive, they have talent, both sides of the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, give me the Rams.
Alrighty, there's our teams. You have the Jaguars, Cowboys, Ravens, Seahawks, Rams. And I have Bills. I'm all AFC. Bills, Bengals, Browns, Texans, Jets.
I like it.
Pretty much we're both. Well, no, you only have the Ravens and Jags. You have 3 NFC teams. The other team left on my list was the Steelers. Was close, but not close enough.
Neither one of us had any team from the NFC South.
Yeah, the division sucks.
One team. Okay.
Let's be real.
All right. Best of the rest draft is over. Let's pick some games for week 7.
Let's do it.
My most successful week of the season.
Yep, Mike was 8-7 last week. I was 7-8. That might seem average to you, but that is the best we've done combined in a long, long time.
I feel so good about it.
Mike is now only 14 games under 500.
I feel so good about it.
I'm 10 games under 500.
This is where the turnaround starts.
Beautiful.
Okay. We have Thursday Night Football, Jags at the Saints. Saints favored by 3.
They got the wrong team favorite. I got the Jags. Saints are
100%.
trash.
100%. Give me the Saints. Not the Saints. Give me the Jags.
Browns, 2.5-point favorite in Indianapolis. Don't know who starting quarterback is.
Starting quarterback is. But Minshew against that defense.
It's in Indy, though. Changes everything. That defense on the road is different. Like especially in a dome. It's just not, I don't know.
Indy flies around home, too. I'm taking the Colts. It's the perfect game for hype on the Browns and just.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm going to be stupid and I'm taking the Browns. I don't think PJ Walker can win a road game, but hopefully Watson's back. I don't even know if he is. Talking out my ass right there because I don't know. Go ahead.
Okay. Raiders at Bears. Raiders favored by 3. I have zero desire to watch any second of this game.
Nope, I got the Raiders.
Give me the Raiders.
I will not pick the Bears, even if
Crosby
Shepherd Boy's playing.
This is on Tyson Page at Max Crosby go eat him for lunch.
Max Crosby's nasty. He needs more pub than he gets.
He does, man.
He is right there with the elites.
Yep.
Commanders, 1.5-point favorite at the Giants. Ugly.
Oh, God.
Now, what's the Daniel Jones situation?
Is he expected back for this one?
Don't know.
NFC East, both these teams are just, yeah.
I got the Giants. Saquon's back. He looked good. I think he'll run wild.
He looked good, but I'm taking the Commanders.
Okay.
No, you're good. Bills at Patriots.
Yep.
Bills favored by 8.5.
Bills.
This is where Mac Jones gets benched.
Yeah.
Bills.
This could be another one of those 31-0 games, 31-3, like another.
Yeah.
This is the third worst loss in Bill Belichick's career.
Yeah.
Falcons at the Bucks. Bucks are a 2.5-point favorite. This one's ugly. I mean, it's not ugly. It's a decent game. It's just the spread. I have no idea.
Awesome.
No idea who to take here.
This is a toss-up.
Bucks looked awful this week. Falcons, can't say they look much better, but I'm going to take the Falcons. They're going to talk about how much they threw the ball, and they're going to run it down the Bucks' throat.
I really want to take the Falcons because of the Arthur Smith versus who's the Bucks coach again? I'm blanking.
That's old Bucks coach.
Yeah, he's not good. I can't remember his name.
Bowles?
Bowles, not good.
That is him, right? Todd Bowles?
it was him.
Okay.
I think the Bucks rebound. Give me the Bucks.
Okay.
Lions at Ravens. Ravens by 3. Best 1:00 game.
Oh yeah, this game will be on the big screen.
I'm going to stick with what I picked when we did the line schedule,
Which was?
taking Baltimore.
I think the Lions are a better team. However, you lose Montgomery.
Yeah.
I don't like Craig Reynolds running the football in Baltimore.
Nope.
It's going to be a low scoring 17-14, 17-16, something weird game. I don't know, man. I don't like the Ravens either. I don't love them. Just don't love them, but I'm taking Ravens. I don't love it. I don't love it at all. Don't love it at all. Steelers at the Rams. Rams are 3-point favorite.
Rams.
This place will be filled with terrible towels. I'm taking Steelers.
It just never convinced me the Steelers aren't a bad football team that pulled a couple games out of their ass.
And I feel like the Rams are a decent football team that plays bad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Okay. Cardinals at Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 7.5. 7.5 feels a little high. It was a little high. You never know sometimes what you're going to get with the Seahawks. Cardinals are kind of regressing a little bit. Man, 7.5, that's a good number. I'm taking the Cardinals. I don't hear anything. What are you hearing?
What is this coming from?
I don't hear anything.
I don't know. There's something playing through a device of mine.
That's your phone, is it?
My phone's right here. I'm freaking out. I don't even know what we're doing. Where are we at? Cardinal Seahawks? I was making sure it wasn't coming through on the stream or on the recording, but
I can't hear anything. It's off the cuff.
It's very subtle.
1:25 in the morning.
Computer's going crazy. Who'd you take?
I took the Cardinals.
I'm taking the Seahawks win by 30. Cardinals, okay. Cinderella's dead. Chargers at the Chiefs. Chiefs are a 6-point favorite.
These games always get a little crazy. Chiefs don't have much of an offense, but that defense is legit. Staley is an idiot.
Okay. Got it off.
What was it?
I was playing like ESPN on my iPad and I couldn't.
Huh. I am taking the Chargers.
That's kind of what I want to do too, and it doesn't make any sense at all. It's just Chiefs haven't looked great.
Win. Tight.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs still win, but 6.
Tight.
6 is closer than the experts think. I'm taking Chargers too.
I go 8-7 and I get crazy. Yeah. All right. Okay. Packers at Broncos. Packers favored by 1.5.
Good Lord.
I have no idea.
I'll take the Broncos. I'm not picking Jordan Love on a road in altitude. Come on. Tom Brady always struggled out there. You think Jordan Love's going to do good?
We said that about Zach Wilson, too, and the Jets went out there and got it done.
He ain't got that defense.
That's true. Give me the Broncos.
One of the games of the year. 2 of those 5-1 teams we mentioned. So it's our number 2 versus number 4 or number 5. Dolphins at the Eagles. Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite at home.
Boy.
At home. So you got McDaniel in possibly his biggest road game, biggest road test of his career as a head coach. On the road, Sunday Night Football in Philly.
This feels a little too simple for me. I'm taking the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles show up in this kind of environment, night game, prime time.
Yeah. I
think they
feel like
get
the
after
Eagles would,
Tua.
they show up for this, and then they'll show up later on when the Niners come, just because all the hype over that game. I think they'll show up in that game.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm taking Mike McDaniel and the
Woo!
Miami Dolphins.
I hope so.
I just,
Really hope so.
I don't think they're going to put together enough explosives because Shanahan everybody talked about how much he had some of those big plays drawn up. Maybe McDaniel has those same big plays. Hopefully his quarterback doesn't break his wrist in the first freaking drive of the game.
That's when Mike White comes in.
That's true. Might be better.
Legend. 49ers at Vikings, Monday Night Football.
Monday Night
Niners
Football.
favored by a touchdown.
Uh,
Give me the Niners.
I can't
Big
imagine.
bounce
I
back.
cannot imagine a scenario where the Niners lose this game. I cannot imagine a scenario.
Big bounce back. Big bounce back.
Now it's possible McCaffrey misses the game. It's possible, but even then, I still without Jay Jettas, just don't.
Now their offense is non-existent without him.
Yeah, don't believe they can do anything with the Niners defense. So yeah.
Okay. That is our Week 7 picks.
And we've got 6 teams on a bye. What will we ever do without the Titans and Panthers playing football this week?
It's a lot of teams, man. 6 teams.
Your Dallas Cowboys.
They need a week off.
Yeah. Look at
Maybe
that.
add some
We really sped that up. We're at an hour and 6 minutes.
What we do? All right.
Oh, I was going to say we're done, but I forgot we got game balls.
Game balls.
Game balls. Ronnie Bass.
Game balls. Who do you have?
I'm going to give the. There were red jerseys, there were white jerseys, there was a lot of orange in the crowd, there was a lot of red in the crowd, but I'm going to give my game ball to the player of the game. He wasn't wearing any of those. He was wearing black and white stripes. The referee who threw the flag or unnecessary roughness against Tayshaun Gibson to cost the 49ers a football game. He gets my game ball for just really putting himself in the game when he didn't have to and didn't need to, and everybody on the planet knew that he was wrong. Still did it. He was like, hey, I'm going to make myself part of this game. I'm going to decide this outcome. Game ball, black and white stripe guy that threw a yellow thing.
Okay. My first ball tap goes to Mike McCarthy for making me ask the question, who would you prefer, Jason Garrett or Mike McCarthy? It's disgusting. It makes me sick. Makes me want to puke.
Yep.
Ball tap. Mike McCarthy.
Game ball number 2 goes to Ben Johnson for being the first person to ever spend 4 years of his life in Detroit and come out a better man. Because it's coming.
Oh, game ball. Lions defense as a whole. I think we thought going into this year that we expected offense and we didn't know what to expect from the defense. And I think the defense has been the most rock steady thing on that team, which is very surprising to me.
For sure.
So I give it to the Lions defense. Physical, they fly around.
MCDC football.
Great tackling. Yeah. So
Take
Lions
on the identity of your head coach.
Yep.
I'm giving a third game ball. Third game ball goes to the commentators across the NFL for trying to make these games interesting when all we have are flags all over the place and poorly coached teams. Also, speaking of commentators, my favorite part of our Discord right now is every single game I see, I hate Tony Romo. I don't like Olsen. God, I can't stand Collinsworth. Joe Buck's the worst.
Yeah.
Are there any fucking commentators that anybody likes? Because all you hear is complaint after complaint about every single one of these guys. They can't all be terrible.
I like Buck and Aikman.
Yeah,
I think when Buck and Aikman are there, even before they were Monday Night Football, when they were on Fox, it felt like a big game.
Yeah.
when Buck and Aikman were there. Collinsworth, I think, is terrible. I think he's so terrible.
Collinsworth is bad.
just-
However, he's still, when you hear his voice, it's Sunday Night Football.
I agree with that, 100%.
Like, it just comes, like, I don't know, it just comes with it. And
Oh, Josh Allen. Look at that approach. Oh.
yeah, I mean, it's very annoying, but still, like, I think it's just part of the experience. Like, it's Sunday Night Football, it's NBC. It's just,
I just don't think a lot of. I said this yesterday too. I don't think a lot of these guys just stand out.
no, and I thought
that's
Olsen
why
did
I
last
think-
year, and I liked Olsen a lot. However, he was horrible.
He's fine.
He was
he's
horrible in the
fine.
last game. Like, it was
Yeah.
so bad. But yeah, I like Olsen.
Yeah, I think Olsen's fine. He doesn't stand out. That's why I think NBA commentators are king. NBA commentators are so good with like Harlan,
Yeah, well, I mean,
Green,
there's just so much action, like, nonstop.
kind of Iron Eagle. I just think that with their personality shines through more, things like that, and calling what they see. Football, man, some of these guys are just so personality. That's why everybody loves Gus Johnson.
Yeah.
There's just no personality with it.
Yeah, I agree. But it's also been very bad football. I think that's
Yeah,
part
that's
of
true
it.
too. That's true. My second ball tag goes to Brian Dable. Some of the decision right before halftime to run the football with no timeouts. That was pretty terrible.
Well, they made up for it at the end.
Yeah, made it for it at the end. That drive, whenever they ran the ball down their throat with Saquon the whole way down the field,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get 3rd and inches and run like a read option with Tyrod, and he has to throw it out of bounds. Like, I don't know what the hell that was. But my biggest thing, I think it was the Bills were up 7-6, and it was 4th and inches. They were on like the 20, like the 15-yard line. Last year, he 1,000% goes for that because he's the new coach,
Mm-hmm.
overachieving. He's a risk taker. The Giants are better. Everybody's blowing him. It's great. Now, this year, the Giants are a playoff team. We're going to make the wild card. Expectations. Offense is better. They're 1-4.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's snipped a little bit. Makes him a little gun shy.
I agree.
So for that, Brian Dable.
That's what happens when you steal the coach of the year from the man that deserved it. Say it every damn week.
Who was that?
Bill Shanahan.
Okay.
And my one ball tap goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You can't whip out the beautiful creamsicle jerseys at home, coming off a bye, have the whole place orange except for the half of it Honolulu blue, and you can't even score a damn touchdown.
We'll score.
Can't whip out the creamsicles and score 6 points. I mean, I guess you can because that's all they did when they wore the creamsicles was suck. So I mean,
They did shit. Yeah.
sad to see
That's
though.
nice
Sad to see.
Nice game.
It's a good uniform game, and it was just sad to see.
I like that. I have 2 left. I have a ball tap and a game ball. They kind of go together.
You have 2 left?
Yep, but they're going to go together. Make this real quick.
Okay.
Ball tapper. I'm going to Robert Saleh.
Yeah, it's my boy.
And you're thinking, why would you give him one because he just beat the Eagles? It's not because of what happened on the field. It's after the game. When him in his press conference and he said that they've ran a gauntlet of quarterbacks and they've embarrassed them all. Okay.
I know
He
Dak had a
faced-
good game.
You know exactly where I'm going with this. He's faced what? Josh Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, Mac Jones, and my last game ball goes to the guy who he didn't embarrass for shit, Dak Prescott, who went up and down the field on his defense all day, and they couldn't do shit with him. Wasn't even close. They whipped the Jets. Yeah, I'm done. Wrap it up.
It's a good segue.
Thank you.
That was good. Didn't know where you were
that's
going with it. I
Thank you.
mean, when the bald man knocks out the Eagles, didn't know where you were going with it, but
That's what I do. I always
took
always
us for a
figure out way.
ride. But I liked where we ended up.
I always figure out a way. Thank you for joining Off the Cuff on this magic carpet ride with us. We'll be back next Monday after Niners Vikings.
Hopefully, I'll be
Talk a little-
screaming at the
Talk a
beginning.
little Week 7. Talk a little football. Until then, bid you all farewell and enjoy the football. Hopefully, good football. If it's not ugly.
We've got nothing but good football the rest of the way. I believe.
America, you won tonight.